Big national park. Just parked roadside, just above Binn Green car park. That's Alderman's Hill, or Alderman's Brow. That's probably one of the best reveals as you come over the top of there, overlooking Dovestones, etc. I've never actually set off from this location previously. I've done this route, or a lot of this route, many times, but just not from this angle. I normally park at the side of the reservoir, down wall, down at Dovestones. Absolutely gorgeous day. Not a cloud in the sky. We're in tree cover at the moment, but that's not gonna last. Quite a descent from Binn Green down to the shoreline. Dovestones Reservoir, quite low. The route today is I'm back. Quite simple really. Up to Alphin Pike, over to the Liberator, back to this edge path to the Indian Head, follow it round over towards Chew Reservoir. There's a Tiger Moth just this side of Chew, so I'll pick that up while I'm going, just because. Over the down wall of Chew Reservoir. From there, over to the Lysander, back to the Ledge Trail. That'll take me around into that the head of that clough there basically, and then I'm onto normal trail to Ashway Cross, and over to the Trinnacle and down Birchen Clough, and then back around Greenfield, Yeoman Hey, and back up to Binn Green. Well, this will certainly not overflow anytime soon. At the bottom of that gully, that's Indian Head, that rock outcrop on top. There's a gully down the side of it, and at the base of the gully, before you hit the wall, just inside the gully at the bottom of it, is the remains of the Dakota section of undercarriage. Well, I say today we're going to go along this just to the end of the wall here, and there's a road goes past them terraced houses and up there, and then say there should be a trail going up to Alphin Pike that way. There's a main car park for Dovestones where I normally set up. About £5.60 for a day, I think. Toilets and that there, ice cream van. Nearly a mile in already. But this section is the new bit. So from here up until the Trig point is all fresh, and make it up as I go along. Still in the shade at the moment, but it's quite humid. Probably won't pick up too well on GoPro, but just on top of the hill there is Pots and Pans and the War Memorial, I say Alderman's Hill. So now coming up through here, this is Bradbury Lane, I believe, and should be just about to intersect Intake Lane. And then I've got to figure out where the trail is, because there's none actually marked on the map to take me up onto the hill. So I just have to carry on up here until we find something that looks like a path. Okay, I've intercepted something. That's Intake Lane I've just come off of, and there's a trail here, what looks to be cutting up there. Right, still on the climb up to Alphin Pike. Plod on to the top, have a drink, hopefully nobody at the Trig, have a fly. Still climbing, but not quite so severe. But once I get to the Trig point, that's pretty much the highest point for the hike, and then it's just pretty much undulating from there. All done with the extreme effort, and then it's just endurance plodding from there on. Alphin Pike Trig point. Trig point, a bit of a shelter windbreak. Okie dokie. Alright, we're done with the climb. So Alphin Pike, windbreak and trig point just there. So now we're on the edge trail. Well, then I'm going to break off piste, across the fence, off the trail, and then head off piste over to the Liberator. There's Dovestones Reservoir. I got Indian Head outcrop in front of me. Okay, just broke off the main trail. There's a stile here crossing the fence, so we shall take that. Was following a trail, but it's not going the direction I hoped. Should be fairly dry up here so far at least, but you have to pay attention because it can catch you out. Alright, so 450 metres that away, so I'm just going to go down this way a little bit and tangent in, and then hopefully see if I can come across this engine. An abundance of trees growing, just noticed. A bit of a rarity up here. 40 metres. Undercarriage, you can see it just sticking out the heather. Liberator Bomber. Small debris pool, undercarriage, and assorted other bits. About another 130 metres that away is another small debris pool, so I'll head over to that. Okie dokie, Liberator Bomber, debris, undercarriage, etc. And now just heading off to this other known section, about 120 metres away, 115 metres. This area we're going to is usually in a bit of a water course. I'll say it's super dry at the moment, so that shouldn't cause any problems. I want more trees up here than there ever has been. Here we go. Liberator Bomber, and then 120 metres that away is the rest of it. So once I've done faffing here, I'll go up onto that nib probably so I can see both sides, and send drone over them, and then I've got to head that away, about 800 metres or so, half a mile, just over a kilometre maybe, to get back to the edge path. But I'm going to head sort of straight back this way to intercept the main path over towards Indian Head, and then obviously trail walking will be a little bit easier than straight lining off piste. I've been out just over 3 hours when I looked on my GPS, and what have we done? 4.4 miles. Indian Head straight in front of me. Alright, get the reveal. Bottom of that gully there is the Dakota. So I'll have a quick drink here and faff up and over that outcrop, carry on about another mile to get to Chew Reservoir and the Tiger Moth. Indian Head, just leaving, heading up here now to Dovestones Brow. I've just left Indian Head down there, and a bit more a deceptive climb than it looks. Now it's Dovestones Brow. Chew Reservoir, dam wall just coming into view. over there. Definitely alarming. And multiple stops. So he stopped several times up the hill, walked from the car to the base of the hill in one go, which was about 2 or so miles. 2 or 3 stops on the way up the hill to Alphin Pike. Over to the Liberator, had a bit of a break there while we were faffing, flying and stuff. Off Piste, back to the Indian Head, so I had 10 minutes there to have a bit of a fly and a drink. Up to that rock outcrop up there, same again, just had a quick chat to my mate on radio and a quick drink. And now at this rock outcrop, just have another minute. 1 kilometre to the Tiger Moth. Definitely need a hat on. That's one of the Wilderness Gull scrambles. Loads of flying gadgets. There you go, Wilderness Gull East. A couple of people halfway up it. 200 metres to the Tiger Moth. I'm still on trail at the minute, so and it's sort of straight in front of me, so I'll keep going a little bit until it starts to tangent off me, and then I'll find an appropriate place to drop off the path. 128 metres off piste now, so pick a point. Here will do. Tiger Moth. That's it, that's all there is of that one left. Tiger Moth debris. That's Chew Reservoir, so that's debris reservoir, so gives you an indication. Now the trail I'm after is supposed to be at the other side of the dam, and then going across Off Piste, but I'm not I'm not convinced it exists, but that's part of this mission really, is to find that out. I know you can get over, follow the path to a fashion, take you over to the normal edge, what we normally go along when I come up here. Now we're back on the trail. Here we are at Chew Reservoir. It's past that green sign saying Dovestones Reservoir via Ashway Gap, which is technically the trail I want, and so far reasonably defined. Stays like that or not is the trick. I'm going to have to keep referring to navigation though, I should think, once it's blindingly obvious. The edge is straight in front of me, and say this trail should curl to the right, and it looks like it is. This should say, so far it's doing what it says on tin, just slightly off on the map, but it's following the approximate track of it. I shall stick with it for the moment. Came across a reasonable flagging, then it vanished, and picked up quite a decent track, and now we're back to flagging again. As suspected, the trail I'm on it or not, as the case may be. I just left what was a trail back there, about 100 metres. So the edge is just there, so if I'd have followed that path it would have took me straight to the edge. I'm not bothered, can I be arsed? It's about just under a mile to the Lysander. I don't want a mile of Off Piste. If this had been a trail of some description, I'd have probably said yeah, I'll go for it, but I'm already quite a way in, and been out a long time. So I think for this mission, because I've done all that as well, I'll abort the Lysander. So what I'll do is I'll go down to the edge and get a coat looking at from there. Revised plan. That's it. So we're now intersecting the edge path. The mosquito is below me, about 100 metre descent down the side of the hill, which is a bit of a mission. So yeah, mosquito down there, and just about 1.2 kilometres that way to the Lysander, but as I say, I've binned that one for this mission. And there we go, one cabin of sorts, but a little bit of shelter from the sun, if nothing else. Bramley cot remains of a cabin. A few stones still knocking about if you want to come and rebuild it. And there used to be something there, not a trig point or anything, but there used to be some sort of monument. Well, I think last time I came that had been demolished. And there's a plaque on the side in memory of Brian Toast and Tom Morton, 1972, lost their lives while descending the second Sailor Tower. Italian Dolomites. Okay, a bit out of the way of the Italian Dolomites, so I guess they were local. But yeah, there used to be like a memorial thing up there, but got knocked down, I guess. Can more or less see car from here. Not quite, but it's just the entrance to Binn Green car park. So I'm just behind them trees on the road, a bit of a lay-by there. Right, this is Ashway Gap. Some water over there. I've run out of water. I'll say it's a filter cup, so I can top up from the stream if I can find any running water. Should be able to filter it through, or failing that I can plod onto the Trinnacle, and then when I get into Birchen Clough, top up from there. But it looks like there is water here, so water's water, same source at the end of the day. And just topped up my water, so that'll make all the difference. Ashway Cross is just over there, just sticking up. Probably won't pick up on GoPro, or there's a various paths now that'll take you and drop you down the flank. And just pay attention to which path you're on, and you don't take the low path if you want to be on the high path. Yeah, by the accidental discharge of a gun, James Tesso, MP for Oldham, lost his life 28th of August 1857. A couple of guys down there, had a quick chat with them, and then they donating me oranges, apples and crisps, give me a quick energy boost. And now heading off to the Trinnacle, but just up here at this next tuft coming up should be a trail off to my right. Yeah, what we are, just about to hit 10 miles. 12, maybe even closer to 13 by the time I've done. That's why it's better than the gym. Fresh air, epic views, and you can't quit. There's one of your Ethel things up here as well. In fact, I've done one earlier on, Alphin Pike. Trig point is also an Ethel. There's a bit of old cabin off here to my right coming up, and then just off the moor about another 100 metres to nothing in particular is the other Ethel. Right, well there it is, and at the moment nobody there. the Trinnacle. That's about it at height. Just got to drop about 400 feet in quick succession. Well, then I've got to scramble down. That's Birchen Clough. Scramble all the way down there, cross the river somewhere strategic, and onto that access path. That access path then goes all the way around Greenfield Reservoir, Yeoman Hey around the corner, and then Dovestones, but I'll be cutting up to Binn Green car park from Yeoman Hey. Swamp. Let's see if it's any. There's flagging there. It's always a swamp at this section. It can catch you out as well if it's just below the surface. Okay. Barfest. That's what that other path were then, going over and around. I think it's going to pay me to go back up. I passed the swamp and put me into the shade for a minute, so I think I will take advantage of that. Got a bit of shade there, and a quick take another 10 minutes. Lots of breaks on this one. A bit of a scramble now, all the way down. There's one of the pictures. No, too dramatic. Not easy if you're bringing dogs up and down it like. There's your main fall. If you don't do it right, here's your other main fall. Still on the descent of Birchen Clough. And that is the Birchen Clough descent. Been an all-day mission, 11.3 miles currently, and just about 7 o'clock. I think I got on the hill about 9:15, something like that. So I've been out proper all day. So I've had quite a few stops and drone flights and things. Wish I'd do it, but still a long old trek. Just down here is like the service road goes around the shorelines of the various reservoirs. So the first one we're going to come to in about 10 minutes is Greenfield Reservoir. It's better in the shade. The sun's fairly low now, so technically it's just gone behind the back of there. So. As reflections go, they're not bad ones. That's the climb. It's all downhill from here. I can see Gar from here. 1947. Back at the car. 10 hours, 12 minutes, 54 seconds. 13.4 miles. 20.84 kilometres. 10 hours, 13, 14.